Jacob Anderson and Sam Smith. Y'all give it up. Today is International Day of the Girl, which celebrates opportunities for girls worldwide. I'm sitting next to two amazing girls. Lila and Kylie are sisters from Massachusetts who recently took on a very unusual yet meaningful cause. Along with their classmates, they helped exonerate the last woman unjustly accused of witchcraft during the Salem witch trials. The project was initiated by their teacher, Miss LaPierre, who is also with us today. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, ladies. Nice to have you on the show. Meet Jacob, meet Sam. Hi. So let's back up. So remind everyone about the Salem witch trials, Miss LaPierre.
So Salem witch trials, we're going back to 1692 in Massachusetts. It was a time of Puritanism, which was a very strict religion. People believed in witchcraft. They feared the devil. And at this point, some of the women in Salem were being accused of witchcraft, and this turned into a hysteria that spread throughout Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So over the years, and even some of the early witches started to try to be exonerated that had been convicted, and some were even hanged, and their families tried to get them exonerated, but it's taken 300 years to finally make it happen for everyone.
So Kylie and Lila, like y'all are so young. Did you know a lot about this at all?
So I never had any really in-depth background information before I started the project.
Yeah.
The most I had was, I think, an elementary school level of background information. So when I walked into starting the project, I relied on primary sources and articles that Miss LaPierre gave my class and us.
Yeah.
But the main question we were all asking was, why does it matter? Like, it happened 300 years ago. No one really hears about it anymore. Like, we had never heard about it. So, our teachers hadn't taught us about it.
So her class started, I'm a year lower than her. Her class started it and wrote the bills and put them into legislative process.
Yeah.
And then my class came in because summer and they have to move up. And so we came in after summer break and we all started learning about this, and then we started writing letters and emails and postcards to senators and representatives and all this wow kind of stuff that we didn't expect to do.
Yeah. It's good though. I remember asking whenever I was in high school, I was like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
About history. And it was awesome because one of my teachers, I had incredible teachers, I was lucky, but they were like, well, you have to learn the history so you don't repeat it.
Yeah,
And keep that alive so you don't repeat the same mistakes that our ancestors did. And there's a lot of history there not to repeat. But Ms. LaPierre, tell us about the woman that you ended up exonerating.
So Elizabeth Johnson Jr., she was from Andover, which was west of Salem, and she was unmarried, 22, no children at the time of her accusation of witchcraft, and even her grandfather had suggested she may have had some mental challenges. So this is a type of person who would have been considered different in their society, kind of an outcast, which is typically what the case was for the women who were accused during the witch trials. And so she was convicted, she was supposed to be hanged, and luckily she wasn't, but I had learned about this from an author, Richard Haidt, who had discovered she had never been exonerated. So he came to me and asked me if I'd like to be involved. And I thought it would be a great way to teach civics to 8th graders who need to learn about government and legislation, but also it kept history a little bit relevant for them because it's their town and something that happened where they live, and that I think is really important.
Way to be an amazing teacher that immerses their students in the learning exercise. You know what I'm saying? That's really cool. And be a part of something on a legislative level. I never would have imagined that whenever I was younger, and I had amazing teachers, but that was just a clever way of doing that. Both of you are British down there, so were either of you aware of the Salem witch trials? Did y'all ever hear about that?
No, not really. Only kind of through films and The Crucible. I guess we did The Crucible at school.
I went to Salem. I went on a tour.
Oh, you did?
You did?
Yeah, I loved it. I love witches. I am a witch.
Be aware, don't say
I'm a
it. They
ghost
like
and a
hanging
witch.
people like that. Really. I love you. I want to hang out, Sam. Oh my God, we would get along so well just by your answers. So Lila, how did you finally undo it?
So my class, we came in and we, like I said, we started writing letters to representatives and senators, and we actually got Senator DeZoglio. We got her involved in our project, and she was really the one that helped us put our bill into
Action.
budget bill, which then passed, and the governor signed off on
Yeah.
it, which then passed our whole thing. So she's really
You've
great.
been a part of this huge thing at such a young age. That is so cool. It's a really cool thing. And Kylie, the work took on new significance toward the end, right?
Yeah, so our work did take on new significance in the sense as when Roe v. Wade was overturned, we knew the process that it had gone through. And it was the same process that our bill had gone through, where it went through various people. And so it also took on a new perspective in what happened 300 years ago is still happening today with women's rights, and it's a history we don't want to repeat.
Yeah, amen. That's why you gotta learn it. Yep, amen. And Sam, you're an advocate for equality and social justice. I know this. Everybody does. What do you think that work has taught you?
Oh my gosh, kindness and patience, and just how we all need each other. Honestly, we need to just talk and communicate, and be brave. It's the hardest thing. Living on this earth is pretty exhausting, so we need each other.
Yeah, agreed. Jacob, I love how these students were inspired to, take action, and also with their teacher. I love the inspiration from the teacher, but did you have a teacher who ever inspired you like that, or really got you, like immersed you into something that really taught you well?
Yeah, I did. My drama teacher, Miss Forbes, she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and she found like a way for me to channel some of my negative energy into like something positive and to make things, don't break things, make things.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she was amazing, as you are, Miss Lepere.
Thank you. Oh, I think teachers are angels. Well, Massachusetts State Senator Diana DiZoglio was instrumental in putting forth the amendment that made this possible. She sent us this video, so everybody take a look.
Hi, Kelly. I'm here at the Massachusetts State House, and as the youngest woman serving in the state Senate, I have to say how proud I am of these young students for their efforts to exonerate Elizabeth Johnson Jr., especially on International Day of the Girl. These students have proven that we can make a big difference no matter our age.
It's so cool. I just can't imagine when I was younger being a part of something so huge like that in school and learning like that. It's a really cool way to teach your students. I'm just very impressed by you, Ms. LaPierre. So, well, students like Kylie and Lila are just one example of young girls making a difference on this International Day of the Girl, and every day we want to hear more stories of young women making a difference. If you're a teacher or student working on a project to impact change, please tell us about it on our Facebook page. You may just be featured on the show. We love stories like this. It's really cool and magical. And it's nice too, like that woman probably felt so forgotten and so not seen then, and like 300 years later, there are all these eyes on her and like making a difference of her legacy was changed, That's very cool.